Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK Journey video. In this video, we're going to be talking about exclusive equipment plus 15 and eventually, of course, even plus 20, plus 25, which are the most important heroes you should be taking first on your account to that plus 15 level, because it is a very heavy investment in order to take heroes that far. It takes 200 temporal essences to take a hero from plus 10 to plus 15, and so you want to make sure you're making the best decisions when it comes to this. Now, the first thing to note is that when you do take a hero to plus 15, you should immediately then take that hero to plus 20, because you should have had like 150 Twilight essences, or actually 125 is all you need, right? In order to take the hero from plus 15 to plus 20. And that gives you 5% bonus stats across attack, defenses, and health. It's a really high value, and it's one of the reasons why even plus 15 has a bit more value now than before, because plus 20 overall has more value. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is that plus 15 exclusive equipment upgrade. A lot of it just comes down to giving more stats to the hero, because a lot of heroes, their plus 15 upgrade, the skill effect is usually not that game changing. A lot of heroes just unlock their game changing effect at plus 10 upgrade. For the most part, you're doing it for the raw stats you're providing, namely getting more attack onto that hero, because that is usually, like, if they're a Dream Realm related hero, it will allow them to deal more damage. If they're a PvP hero, they will deal more damage and also be tankier. Okay, so the first thing I want to mention is that in the past, Lily May was the first candidate taken up to plus 15 because she was really good in Dream Realm and good in PvP. Now the problem is she is not a top tier option in Dream Realm. A lot of the top teams are not using her, and if you have better heroes built up, you will just not be using her that much in Dream Realm. I don't think it's a terrible decision, because also if you are at an early game point, maybe you don't have any other better Dream Realm damage healer and you're using Lily May on a lot of your teams, and then that plus 15 can be useful. However, I think there are just better options now. So first of all, I want to talk about the Celestial Hypogeans. So there are two key Celestial Hypogeans which are the most recommended to build first for free-to-play players. One is Phraesto, because he is an amazing damage dealer in Endless Dream Realm bosses, and he still remains to be the best Endless Dream Realm damage dealer out there. For Phraesto, if you upgrade him to plus 15 exclusive equipment, what will he get? Number one, he will get a meaningful skill upgrade. It will allow him to resummon his illusion after the illusion dies for the first time. This has uses if you pair him up with Harak, because Harak can devour his illusion and Phraesto can resummon it, and this is really useful for Dream Realm. However, for regular PvP, it can also be useful being able to resummon your illusion after it takes lethal damage. But again, the main reason you would be doing this upgrade is to give Phraesto more raw stats. Upgrading him from plus 10 to plus 15 is going to give him more attack percent, which is going to contribute to higher damage in Dream Realm. And upgrading him to plus 20 then with your 125 Twilight essences is going to give him another 5% attack on top of that. So yes, Phraesto, if you build him as your first Celestial Hypogean, you cannot upgrade a Celestial Hypogean or any hero up to plus 15 exclusive equipment until they're at Supreme rank or above. So if you take him to Supreme, definitely he should probably be the first hero you take to plus 15 upgrade, because of how good of a damage dealer he is for Endless Dream Realm, and this is going to improve his damage output by quite a bit. And yeah, take him to plus 20. So Phraesto would be my first recommended one if you have Phraesto built. Now the other free-to-play friendly Celestial Hypogean which is recommended for people is the twins, Elijah and Lila. Now for them specifically, I actually don't recommend them being one of your first plus 15 upgrades, because when we take a look, they contribute hardly any damage in Dream Realm. So increasing the exclusive equipment, like we said, a major reason you're doing that is to give the hero more attack to deal more damage. They are not going to deal any more damage in Dream Realm by giving them exclusive equipment upgrade, because their damage is almost non-existent to begin with. What they are going to gain is the skill upgrade. For example, initially, without the plus 15, they're going to have 10% energy refund each time an ally hero casts an ultimate. If you upgrade them to plus 15 exclusive equipment, they're going to get 15% energy back, all of your heroes, when casting ultimate. Which is, yeah, I mean, if heroes are ultimate dependent, this can be nice, a 5% boost, but honestly, from 10 to 15%, it doesn't seem like a hugely game-changing ability. And actually, I think that you can better use those 200 temporal essences across other heroes. Now, definitely upgrading these Elijah and Lila to the plus 10 is going to be really important. Not only because it will give them more stats to be able to survive better, but also they do get meaningful bonuses for the Stellar Bond linked allies. But the plus 15 upgrade is a lot of investment. It doesn't increase Elijah and Lila's damage. If they had issues surviving, then yeah, it can be nice. But the thing is, if you already have Elijah and Lila at Supreme, or eventually Supreme Plus, then, and they are plus 10 exclusive equipment, they're not going to have issues surviving. So like, other than maybe some very niche pre-endless cases. So getting that upgrade, like the tankiness is not really important, the attack increase is not really important, the 5% bonus energy refund when casting ultimate, honestly not too game changing. So I would say you can leave them at plus 10 for a while. Now getting them to Supreme Plus, Elijah and Lila, is very important because this is a major upgrade that they get, that each linked ally are going to have 15% of the highest corresponding stats among other linked allies, and it will be capped at 30% of the original stats of Elijah and Lila. So there's another thing you might be thinking, well, if you increase the stats of Elijah and Lila, then this will increase the cap amount. However, I think the thing is, if you are already, you're capped at 30% of Elijah and Lila's stats, and it will be 15% of the highest corresponding stats among linked allies. So even 15% of even like a really high stat ally linked on the bond should still not exceed this 30%. So I still think plus 10 exclusive equipment is nice for the twins. You can leave them there. Eventually, yeah, you will want to plus 15 them because it is a meaningful skill upgrade, but it is lower down the priority. Like upgrading your damage dealers is going to be better, and so definitely Phraesto is a great option to plus 15 immediately, but Elijah and Lila, I would wait on it a bit. Okay, talking about just a couple other celestial hypogenes. So Harak, if you're going to build Harak and you're going to use him as a damage dealer for Dream Realm, which is the major reason you would use him, then definitely you want to upgrade his exclusive equipment because he's all about his damage. The higher attack that he starts with, the more damage he will deal, and so any damage dealer oriented celestial hypogene you build up, you will want to plus 15 upgrade them, and it will be a major priority. So Harak would probably be the second priority after Phraesto, assuming you have both of them built up. Yeah, because Harak's damage is going to increase a lot, and you guys have seen this season in Dream Realm, Harak has really been dominating. I think in 5 or 6 out of the top teams for endless Dream Realm bosses so far. So Harak is a great investment to plus 15, and also this would help in PvP. This is a very important skill effect for PvP, giving him recovery each time that he destroys, assists or defeats an enemy unit. And that allows him to survive better and actually carry your team. So the other heroes like Cryonaia, Tailene, if you're going to build them, you should take them to plus 15 exclusive equipment because it's just going to increase their damage output. Now, specifically for Cryonaia, it is essential that you take her to plus 15. I mean, if you're going to use her for Dream Realm. If you're just using her for PvP, then yeah, I mean, this upgrade is not as important. But for any Dream Realm applications, you're going to need to have the freeze time effect. So plus 15, the skill effect is going to be needed. But also the damage that she gains, of course, and also Tailene. But these heroes, like even Harak, honestly, many people it'll take time for you to build them. But basically what I'm trying to convey is that if you're building a Celestial Hypogene hero, and it is a damage dealer, they should definitely be taken to plus 15 as a pretty high priority because you want to get the most out of them as possible, even if they're purely for PvP. So like, yeah, the twins though are the one that you can leave at plus 10 because they're a support hero. Even Rainier, of course, even if you upgraded Rainier to Supreme for some reason, which I don't recommend, but if you did, don't take him past plus 10. He doesn't need to be past plus 10. Now for the main faction heroes, it will kind of come down to, do you want to focus more on Dream Realm or focus more on PvP? So for your Dream Realm emphasis, Odie has been pretty good in Dream Realm for pre-endless bosses as well. This season, because we have Thalasso boss, Odie is the best damage dealer for that boss. However, a lot of times when we make it to Endless, Odie is phased out, and he isn't the greatest damage dealer option anymore. But for pre-Endless, he usually always has a pretty good role. So I think Odie upgrade to plus 15 is always a pretty good option. If we take a look at his actual skill effect, he doesn't gain like any major game-changing skill upgrade. It does increase slightly his execution threshold, but it's a very minor increase. Mainly what you're doing this for is just to give him more attack from the exclusive equipment upgrade. It will also help you if you ever use him in AFK stages, if you use him in PvP. So he is a pretty good priority for plus 15 upgrade. But talking about another A level hero which has really risen up in the meta and is maybe arguably even in some ways a higher priority to plus 15 compared to Odie, there's Bonnie. So Bonnie has also had Dream Realm use because of her Supreme Plus ability to increase magical damage from your team. However, she is a major top tier PvP hero. She is going to help you in regular arena, supreme arena. Getting the extra stats from the plus 15 upgrade is going to be really useful. Now, when you look at the actual skill effect that she gets from the plus 15 upgrade, just a minor boost to the damage multiplier of the spread of the aging is not even like the damage per second. So this is not a very at all meaningful skill upgrade. It's just about the raw stats that you give her by getting that exclusive equipment upgrade. And so Bonnie is a pretty high priority, and it is really up to you. Do you use Bonnie more, whether it be in Dream Realm or PvP? Then you can upgrade her to plus 15 before Odie. But really, out of the A level heroes, the two key ones I'm looking at are Bonnie and Odie. These are heroes you're basically never going to regret upgrading to plus 15. Now, there is another hero here that we have to mention. It is Sinbad out of the A levels. So Sinbad is a hero which, yeah, I mean, he gets a very meaningful skill upgrade by upgrading his plus 15. Like if you take a look here, reduces the hitter attack by an extra 30% and increases the guard's damage taken by an extra 15%. Now, this is amplifying his debuff basically. However, in Dream Realm bosses or any boss content, the debuff value is going to be 20% of its original value. So a 15% increased damage taken by the guard, or basically the boss, that is going to be 20% of that, which is actually only a 3% increased damage taken by the boss. So 3% increased damage taken by the boss, I mean, it does make a difference, but how much? Not really that much, right? And upgrading to plus 15 is a very big investment. So for a lot of people, and he won't be good in PvP. Who knows in future seasons how relevant Sinbad will be, but he was really good for pre-endless this season, and if he continues to be so good and dominant for pre-endless in future seasons, yes, plus 15ing him would be nice, but you have to really consider this one carefully. It's really like, if you have abundant resources, then maybe go for it, but I would be a little bit worried about upgrading Sinbad to plus 15, however, it is a meaningful upgrade. So those are the key A levels I would look at. Like, Arden, yeah, I mean, eventually, a lot of PvP heroes plus 15 upgrade would be nice. It does prolong the duration of his crowd control a bit, increases damage, but I would not recommend it other than for whale players having like Arden and plus 15. Plus 10 is totally pretty much maximum potential of Arden. So that is it for the A levels. Now for the S level heroes, we talked about Lily May, Tasi. These are the two key PvP heroes you see a lot, and both of them are key upgrades to plus 15. I would probably take Lily May upgrade to plus 15 before Tasi, because Lily May can have some niche boss related use, Ravage Realm use. There's more uses and potential of Lily May. Tasi is purely a PvP hero and AFK stages, so there's value of that as well. But so yeah, I mean, it is up to you. So when you look at Lily May's plus 15 upgrade, it will increase the attack boost gained for each growth stack, and she can stack growth up to 4 times. So in total, even though there's a 2% increase, 4 times 2 is 8% in total attack, which is nice, but of course is giving her more stats. That's the main reason you're doing it. So upgrading Lily May to plus 15 and plus 20 will never be a regrettable decision. She is top tier PvP. In my opinion, right now, one of the top heroes in the game. And for Dream Realm, she has fallen off. She's not going to be in the top teams. However, maybe if you're really limited on options, she could be seeing some use in Dream Realm. But yeah, unfortunately, she's just not as like dominant in all areas as she was before. But plus 15ing her is still good for PvP only. Tasi for PvP and AFK stages, plus 15ing her is really nice. It is a meaningful skill upgrade, more haste after casting her ultimate, Eternal Dreamscape, but also is going to increase her attack and also her defenses, but mainly increasing the attack for more solo potential in PvP. She is a powerhouse in PvP. Upgrading her to plus 15 and plus 20 is a really top priority, so I would consider both of these two really top priorities to upgrade to that plus 15. Apart from that, honestly, I don't really recommend any other hero in the S levels to plus 15. Like, I mean, if you use a hero a lot for Dream Realm, for example, the only other one I would recommend is maybe Smokey, because Smokey's plus 15 ability is going to increase his attack, and he is an endless damage dealer, dealing HP per second damage, so that higher attack is going to help him burst through bosses and like deal more damage in endless or even some primal lures when you use him. The other thing is that Smokey, for AFK stages, that extra attack is going to be beneficial as well. So because of all of that, yeah, he would be probably one of my next choices after Tasi and Lily May to upgrade to plus 15 out of the S level heroes. And it is going to be beneficial for you, and I don't think it's a pretty good thing. And Smokey is still in the meta for a lot of Dream On bosses, and he probably will remain in the meta for endless Dream On bosses, that is. Apart from that, I mean, yeah, Sonya for whales, high spenders to try and maximize your damage in Dream Realm. Even Shakir, there are some comps for plus 15 exclusive equipment. Shakir for Dream Realm is doing, like, the comps become more optimal, especially with the twins this season, like in Crystal Beetle. That's the one that comes to mind. Siren, he's a PvP pretty much powerhouse right now. He doesn't get a meaningful upgrade from the plus 15, but it's just about giving him stats. But I would not really recommend Siren to plus 15 until, like, all the others that we mentioned were already plus 15, even including Sinbad. But anyway, guys, that is basically it for my overall opinion on which heroes you should take up to plus 15 exclusive equipment. Just to recap things, I would say your Celestial Hypogean damage dealers, like Phraesto, he should be your first plus 15. And if you build up Harak, and Cryonaia, get them to plus 15 to maximize their potential and their damage. The twins are a unique because they're support and they don't contribute damage themselves, you can leave them at plus 10 for quite some time. Their plus 15 is a nice skill upgrade, but it's kind of minor, and I wouldn't make it a major priority. I think you can focus on damage dealers before the twins, but you can leave them at plus 10. But eventually, yeah, plus 15 will be nice for them. As for the A levels, we said Odie, Bonnie, Sinbad. However, mainly Odie and Bonnie, these are the two big ones you want to think about upgrading, and it's up to you how much you use them compared to the S levels, because the key S levels are Lily, May, Tasi, and then Smokey. So depending on how much you use these heroes, you can consider upgrading them. Shakir is a really awkward one, because like his plus 15, it is not needed for his Dream On performance. However, for whatever reason in the Crystal Beetle boss, like, Shakir is running into a weird position when he's at plus 10 exclusive equipment. So, like, because of weird interactions like that, this is something you need to consider. Do you want to upgrade your Shakir to plus 15? Because, like, it does optimize for this. However, the weird thing is sometimes in some boss comps, it's better to have Shakir at plus 10. Because of the time, because it's all about the ultimate timing, basically, which changes things in the fight. Like, for the Crystal Beetle examples particularly, the way that you get around it, even with a plus 10 Shakir, is you run the same formation, but you swap the position of the twins, and it fixes the problem. But then it isn't going to get as optimal of a score, because you don't have the team grouped up as much. So, I don't know. Shakir is an awkward one. I don't know if I recommend plus 15ing him, because it's kind of hit or miss. Sometimes plus 10 is more optimal for the team comp. Sometimes plus 15 is more optimal for the team comp. So, I don't know about that. But the other ones, Lily, May, Tasi, Smokey, you can't go wrong with it. These are really good options. And so those are basically my recommendations. If you guys have any other opinions, you can feel free to share them in the comment section. But overall, I feel like I did convey the point I wanted to make in this video. And yeah, so yeah, Phraesto number 1, and then after that it just comes down to how much you use the other heroes, whether it be if you're building up Harak, then he should be the one you upgrade to plus 15 next. If you're skipping on Harak, then you should upgrade, like, depending on the use in Dream Realm, you can consider upgrading them, or you can just upgrade your PvP heroes. And Bonnie, for AFK stages, for PvP, she's a really good choice. Like, Bonnie would probably be my recommendation after Phraesto. And Odie, it's up to you. If you want to give him a plus 15, I don't think it's a regrettable ever decision. But, like, you could skip on it. You could go for your other PvP heroes, May, Tasi, Smokey for endless Dream On damage, Shakir if you want that plus 15 for a faster ultimate casting. Any other Celestial Hypogean PvP hero, or even the twins at plus 15 if you want to, but I think they can sit at plus 10 for a while. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching. I'll hopefully see you guys in the next video. If you're not already subscribed to our YouTube channel, please subscribe. We're on a road to 20,000 subscribers. Let's hit it before the end of the season. But thank you guys for watching. I'll hopefully see you in the next video, and until then, everyone, peace out for now.